Hi, this is Jerry Tyson from R.L. Matus & Associates. Today I want to talk to you about how to send and receive data from Node-RED to Redline's DA70 via MQTT. Both Node-RED and the DA70 can publish and subscribe to MQTT topics, but neither is a broker. So in this demo, we will use the Eclipse Mosquito open source MQTT broker. I have a device that will continually broadcast serial strings of data once its program is started. In our Node-RED flow, the Python program will be executed and the serial string data will be read into the message payload. Next, we will send the payload into a function node that will parse the serial string and create the appropriate JSON string. Here's a screenshot of the function that does the parsing and the string building. Then we'll use a JSON node to convert the JSON string to a JSON object. Finally, the flow will push that object to an MQTT topic. By structuring the JSON and configuring the DA70 properly, the corresponding tags will be populated inside the DA70. Now let's set up the Redline side. Crimson 3.2 is the software that we'll be using to configure the DA70. First, you need to make sure the hardware is set up properly. You will need to configure the sled if you're using Wi-Fi or one of the optional Ethernet sleds. But in this demo, we're going to be using the Ethernet 2, the second copper port on the DA70 main unit. Make sure to set the right IP address to communicate to your data source. Now let's look at the data tags. For this demo, I've created some integer tags to receive the IMU data coming from Node-RED. There are 3 values from the accelerometer, AX, AY, AZ, and 3 values coming from the gyroscope, GX, GY, and GZ. These will be set up as internal integer tags to be treated as signed integers. Then on the Format tab, we will need to set the format type to numeric, and I just gave it 8 digits and a soft sign. You'll need to do what is right for your data. Next, you'll need to go to the Communications section and choose the generic MQTT connector. You will need to enable the agent and set the update mode to send changes. Then set the IP address of your MQTT server and set a name for your client in the client ID field. Now we will set the main topics for publication and subscription. I set these to DA pub and DA sub. Let's disable the force into root option. On the network tab, you will need to set the port for your MQTT broker. Most of the time it is port 1883, but in my case it was taken, so I just set it for 1983. Choose your send interface. Mine for this demo is Ethernet 2. On the Device tab, we will just disable this feature to cut down on the time and location being sent by this client. Tag set 1, I have dedicated to my published tags, and I'm using tag set 2 for my subscription tags. We need to set the transfer mode to write only when subscribing. I've set the tag structure to simple tag list and the label set to no. For the naming of the tags, we will choose the use name option. Now to build your subscription tag list, just click and drag the tag from the data tags list on the right-hand side. Let's build a display page so that we can view the data live. We will just select the group of tags and drag them onto the page. Let's grab the corner of the group and make it a little larger. Once we set the first one to the font and size that we want, we can just select the rest of the tags and copy the text formatting to match the first one. Okay, let's download this configuration to the DA70 and let's see if it works. Okay, let's switch over to the HDMI output. And yes, we have live data. So things don't always go that well the first time. So in case you're having some issues, let's talk about some troubleshooting tools. MQTT.fx is a tool I have used to easily publish and subscribe to an MQTT topic when troubleshooting my setup. They do a great job of formatting the JSON payload. But the DA70 also has some built-in troubleshooting tools. You will need to set up the Ethernet 1 interface to have the appropriate IP address for your network. And then in the web server section, you'll just need to enable the web server. Now let's open our browser and set the URL to the address of the DA70 Ethernet 1 port. Here you will see the main page of the web server. There is a link to the remote view which of course for us is the live update of our tags. In the upper right-hand corner, you will find a link to the system web server that is used for remote configuration and troubleshooting. Under the diagnostic section of the menu, you will find many troubleshooting tools. Let's first take a look at the network status, which is in the network info section. Here you can see the connection status of your network ports. You'll see here that the connection to our MQTT broker is established. Now let's go to the Crimson console under the diagnostic section. Here you can see the auto-scrolling live traffic that is coming from the MQTT broker. You can freeze the display to get a better look at the data. From here it is clear that the DA70 is receiving the JSON payload. Let's take a look at how to publish to MQTT from the DA70. I have created a tag called DA_count. Just like our other tags, this one will also be an internal tag that is treated like a signed integer. Now let's go to the program section and create a very simple one-line program to increment this variable. We need to set up our program to run on every tick, which will run the program every second. This is done in the display pages section. Just type run and the program name in parentheses in the on tick box. Now on the display page, we need to click and drag the DA_count tag from the resource pane on the right. We'll resize the tag and then increase the font size. Let's download this to the DA70. We can check the HDMI output. We now have an incrementing variable that we should be publishing. Let's check it with the Crimson console and the system web server. This is showing both what we are receiving and sending. Let's freeze the display. There we have it, the DA_count tag being published under the DA pub topic. Now let's check it with MQTT.fx. We'll subscribe to DA pub with the #sign wildcard. Now we can clearly see the structure of the JSON payload. Back in Node-RED, we will use an MQTT end node to subscribe to the DA pub topic. It appears to be working. Let's break it down in the debug section to see the tag. We can even change the output of the debug node to parse out the value of the DA_count tag. Now let's deploy that. And there you have it. We have successfully transferred data from Node-RED to Redline's DA70 via MQTT. If you got something out of this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel in order to be notified when we post future videos on this kind of topic. Bye for now.